Hi, I'm a Christian and I celebrate Halloween, and I don't have any guilt about it. I know that sounds probably to certain Christians kind of like I need salvation or something. And then there's other Christians that totally get it, totally understand, and totally don't feel like celebrating Halloween is some sort of sin. Now, Halloween has a certain history. It goes back to the ancient Celts, okay, and it had a lot to do with nature and protecting themselves in the wintertime. I mean, I can go through the whole history for you about it and how it started. And the Celts believed that the night before the new year, the boundary between the living and the dead became blurred. So on the night of October 31st, which was a holiday called Samhain for the Celts, it was believed the ghosts of the dead returned to Earth. Okay, and they thought that the presence of these spirits, okay, made it easier to make predictions about the future, which they appreciated because of this winter that they are facing at this time of year. Volatile weather, volatile uh, natural world that they had to deal with back then. We still have to deal with it, but they had a harder time. Okay, at least in the first world, we're more protected against nature than they were back 2,000 years ago. So the Roman Empire conquered the Celts, and eventually Christianity got involved, and they wanted to kind of Christianize these pagan Celtic holidays. So they Christianized it. It was probably, I would think, the Catholic Church Christianized um, this Samhain. So now it became All Saints Day, and it also was called All Hallows Eve, and eventually Halloween. And that's skipping a lot of details. Then, in America it got a little different. We have our own way of celebrating Halloween. The beliefs and customs of the Europeans merged with the Indians, the native Indians. So they would have parties to celebrate the harvest, to share stories of the dead, tell fortunes, dance and sing, all that stuff. Okay. So that's like just a brief history, and then the Irish coming to America helped Halloween along as well. They were escaping the famine, the potato famine, and Irish are Celtic, so it all just kind of comes together. First of all, I'm just going to tell you my perspective on why I think it's okay for me to celebrate Halloween with my kids every year. Or, if the kids weren't around, I'd probably, want to celebrate it too. I don't worship Celtic deities. If you were asked to ask me who I worship, I'd say God through Jesus Christ, okay? He's the way to God for me. I believe we all have a dark side and a light side. And we all have a dark side, no matter how sweet and innocent someone is. Everyone's got a dark side. Even in psychology, they'll tell you that. Jung talked about the shadow, I think, right? And all of us have a dark side. That's obvious. I mean, look at world history. But I think Halloween celebrates that dark side and expresses that dark side in a harmless, fun way. That's what I think Halloween has become. Okay. Um, and I think that's fun. It's healthy. It's, and, the kids dressing up as their superheroes or ghosts or whatever the hell, whatever, you know. There's nothing wrong with Halloween unless you are killing black cats. I mean, I've heard that happening. There's nothing wrong with Halloween unless you're doing stuff like that, warped shit like that. Then, you know what? You have no business celebrating the holiday. If you're worshiping the real devil, because of Halloween, maybe you shouldn't be celebrating the holiday. Okay? If you use Halloween as an excuse to worship the real devil, which, in my faith, I believe there really is one. It doesn't look like, not with the horns and the pitchfork either. Usually he comes as an angel of light. But nothing is wrong with Halloween unless you're, one, killing black cats, worshiping the real devil, conducting seances. I've been taught that contacting the dead, it's not really the dead, it's demons. So seances, I think, personally, in my faith, are dangerous. Okay? Now, if you're using Ouija boards, throw those out. They may be made by Parker Brothers or Milton Bradley or whatever the heck it is. They're sold at toy stores, for God's sakes. But if you have one of a Ouija board and you want to use it on Halloween, throw it out. So there's nothing wrong with Halloween unless you're killing black cats, worshiping the real devil, having seances, or using Ouija boards and doing stuff like that. That really is dangerous. That really does conjure demons. And, the first one being just plain cruelty to animals. That's all that is. That's just sadistic shit. That's all that is. Now, if you're killing black cats, worshiping the real devil, conducting seances and playing Ouija board, then you're dealing with the real demons. Okay? I don't believe Jesus has a problem with me dressing up with my kids and going from house to house and asking for candy. There's things that we do as humans on a daily basis that pisses God off more than Halloween. Now I'm not disrespecting, my brothers and sisters in the faith that choose not to celebrate. I respect your choice. And I respect where you're coming from. I respect you. I have a different point of view. That's all. But again, there are things we do on a daily basis. If you want to talk about sin and thoughts and bad thoughts that one will think on a daily basis that makes Halloween look like TBN. A question that a Christian might ask me is, are you following the world by celebrating Halloween, the world system, instead of God by celebrating Halloween? My answer to that is, I think I got bigger fish to fry than Halloween on my list of sins. Just picture the pearly gates. I'm 110, died peacefully with a smile on my face, in my sleep, painlessly. And I make it to the pearly gates, and the angel asks me, well, why should I let you in? And I say, well, Jesus died for me, etc., etc. And he goes, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. You may come in, but one last question. Did you celebrate Halloween? And then I say, yes, I did. And they say, to hell with you. Come on. That's not going to happen. I know that's not going to happen. I just feel it in my gut that that's not going to happen. Maybe one day I'll change my mind and I'll wake up and I'll be like, you know what? Halloween really is satanic. Maybe somebody will convince me of it, but right now I'm not convinced. I think it depends on the person. If you're a sick, you know what, and killing cats and doing things like that, then we have a problem. But if you're just using the Halloween as a way to express the dark side in a healthy fashion, I say have fun and happy Halloween, folks. Like and subscribe to my damn channel. I will see you soon. Boo.